In this video, we will discuss Spider-Man 2002 video game. Spider-Man is an action-adventure game that was released in 2002, and it was based on the Sam Raimi film that starred the greatest Spider-Man of all time, Tobey Maguire. The game was developed by Treyarch and published by Activision. It was released for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, Game Boy Advance, and Microsoft Windows. The game would feature both Tobey Maguire and Willem Dafoe. The developer Treyarch was founded in the year 1996 by Peter Ackman and Dogan Koslu in Santa Monica, California. The studio is best known today for their involvement in the Call of Duty franchise. They worked on the Black Ops series and even on Warzone 2.0. But before they became a Call of Duty only developer, they worked on Spider-Man Web of Shadows, Ultimate Spider-Man, and Die by the Sword, which released back in 1998. The developer is clearly still active today. Now, the game follows Peter Parker, a high school student who is bit by a genetically altered spider when he is visiting Oscorp. This spider gives him superhuman abilities, and he must now learn how to use these powers and to fight against the evils that plague New York. Some of the villains that he'll face include Vulture, Shocker, and of course, the Green Goblin. The reception for Spider-Man was actually pretty good. On Metacritic, it received a 76 out of 100 for the PS2, a 75 out of 100 for the PC, and a 79 out of 100 for the Xbox. A lot of critics at the time viewed the game as the best Spider-Man game that they had played up to that point, which I can see why, as it probably followed a more mature tone and took a realistic approach to the character. Plus, I think the likeness with the film helped tremendously. Some of its downfalls, according to critics and reviewers, however, was that the game was short and it could be completed in just about 3 hours. They also cited Tobey Maguire's voice acting as a potential problem for some. However, I'd really find that hard to believe. Now, I'll bring you the sales of the game, and I'll tell you quickly that I'm really glad that I'm actually able to find some today. And it feels like this is the hardest part of a Retro Chamber series. Gaming studios love to hide their sales numbers, but like I said, I did find them for Spider-Man. So, Spider-Man sold 2.1 million copies on the PlayStation 2 by 2006 and had made a total of $74 million for that console. The game would also rank in at number 15 for the best-selling game category from 2000 all the way to 2006. In total, the game sold over 6 million copies for all available platforms. The gameplay of Spider-Man is a level-based beat-em-up. Most of the game's levels are indoor, with a couple of them being outside. In the game, you can punch, jump, dodge, web swing, web zip, and kick opponents. Your Spider-Man automatically web crawls, and although there is some web swinging, if you get too low, your Spider-Man automatically falls to his death. My personal experience with this Spider-Man game is awesome. I loved it as a kid, and I didn't own that many Spider-Man games, or not as many as I would have liked, but I would play this one specifically all the time, especially before school started. I would wake up early and sit there playing until the bus came. But you want to know what's funny to me? Is that I didn't have a memory card for the PS2, at least not one that worked, or I just kept losing them. So every morning, I would wake up and I would play the same intro that features the legendary voice of Bruce Campbell and redo that every day for months on end. I just played it over and over again. I played it so much that I was haunted by the voice and him insulting me every time I couldn't do something right. Then I would rescue the same girl from the same roof every single day, and I would have to go and find her purse.
You saved my life.
Don't worry about it, lady. I gotta go.
Wait, before you go, I lost my purse on one of the rooftops around here.
On a different rooftop?
Yes.
Different from this one?
Yes.
Are you serious? Are you taking some kind of tour of city rooftops?
Yes.
Okay, whatever. I'll find your purse for you.
I don't remember how far I got into the actual story, and I don't think I ever finished the game from beginning to end, but I loved it like crazy. It was basically my Insomniac Spider-Man. Absolutely. Now, could the Spider-Man game that adapted the 2002 film be made today? I mean, the concept of a Spider-Man game, yes, of course, we already have that, right? But this one in particular, I do not think so. And really, because why would they? It wouldn't make sense for anyone, I guess, and the licenses of the game might have expired. Maybe there would be too much work to do on this remake or release because you'd have to build it from the ground up. Just a game of this magnitude doesn't seem realistic that it'll come in a remake or a remaster. Now, I'm usually optimistic when it comes to this section of the game, but here I guess I'm being realistic, like I said. However, one thing that I think would be kind of cool, like for a big anniversary or something like that, is if they remade this game, the second game, and the third game, packed it all into one single game and released it as like Sam Raimi game trilogy anniversary or something like that. Now, that would be cool, but again, that probably will not be happening anytime soon. And to wrap this up, the 2002 Spider-Man game was my childhood. It was a game that I loved, a game that made my days better, and even though I would play the same missions over and over again every single day, my young mind allowed me to feel like it was a fresh take, and I didn't care, to be honest. I enjoyed putting on the mask and being my favorite hero of all time, and it made it even better that I could actually hear Tobey Maguire in the game. It felt like a continuation of the film. It felt like I was playing the movie, and that's all I needed. This game is and will always be one of my favorite games ever, and the art of the cover was just beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Retro Chamber, where we look at some of the best classic games made and we get to learn a little bit more of their history and the things that they achieved. Here we learn together, and I thank you for your time. If you have any suggestions on which games you would like to see featured in our next episode, please let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in our next video.